Hi, hello everyone. Tonight we have a very big, amazing class. So we're going to do it, the Refuah Shalema Miriam Bas Shoshana, 7-year-old girl that we just heard of that drowned. Do we have any updates, Sarah?
I actually saw an update.
You did?
Oh, her Kyle is something
Yeah.
to the trash.
Her blood pressure is good and body temperature is very good. Chassid Hashem.
Wow.
So we're going to do it. It's supposed to be Refuah Shalema Shoshana Miriam Bas Shoshana. Okay, so last time. Hi. Fashionably. All of you. Fashionably.
First time.
We're just about to start. Okay, let's begin. So again, thank you all so much for coming. This is like a short series. So I don't scare you to death. Next time I do a 6-part series. Because the 6-part series, I'm not going to tell you anything about it right now, besides for the fact that the people that will sign up to them, I usually when I give series, I usually keep them very small, very intimate, and very committed. And if you've signed up, then you're there. And if you're late, then we all wait for you. And we're like, okay, where is it, right? So this is like a very chill, relaxed, 3-part series on love. But we're going to move into a kick your rear end into shape, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, get you into a place of I am so happy to be alive, so thriving, so not needing other things outside of myself to make me feel good about myself, so on my game, right? And by the non-Jews, there's so much awareness nowadays, I would say in the last 5 years, all these crazy seminars, Tony Robbins, all this stuff that's happening, and there's this awakening, and they're all into mindfulness. It's called mindfulness. Crazy amounts of books that are being written and have been written.
You should go too far back.
Yeah, I see. Thank you. So there's a tremendous amount of awareness in terms of mindfulness, because people are learning and people are realizing these days that yeah, it's nice to have cash, but it ain't it. So, and it's nice to have fun, but we're human beings, and human beings, we just require so much because we're so deep, and we have so many layers, and we have so many real deep needs that are much bigger than what the world tries to sell us on. So people are running mad dashing towards mindfulness all over the world. I personally think, and I know a lot of people are saying it also, is because we're at the times of Mashiach, and people don't want any more, they don't want any more, I usually don't say this, but I'm just going to say this, they don't like to be BS'd anymore. Kids don't like it, and adults don't like it. People are very beyond that, and I feel our generation is very okay, give me the truth. Don't lie to me, don't tell it to me in my face, and I think that just seeing my children and other people's children, I see that they want honesty. They don't want your mommy's fine, mommy's okay. I heard a person that's big in Chinuch and Eretz Yisrael, and he said, it's healthy for your kids to see you going through things. It's not healthy for your kids to see a machine. I'm always happy, I'm always organized, everything's always fine. That's good, but it's healthy for them to see mommy crying. It's healthy for them to see mommy not so happy. It's healthy for them to see mommy and daddy arguing maybe sometimes, and also mommy and daddy making up sometimes. Human, normal, human. We're not robots. And somehow over the course of whatever life, we were instructed from last class. We said this a little bit that we are instructed to be perfect. Perfect. Look, act, be everything perfect. I remember when I was my older son's bris. Okay, I gained so much weight during my pregnancy. Okay, people would walk by me on the street. I lived in Yerushalayim and Rehavia. People would walk by me on the street and just walk by me, friends that would come over and eat Shabbos meals. After I gave birth, they would walk by me, same wig, same everything. They'd be like, hello. They'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you were just so fat. And now you're just a little less fat. I did not recognize you. And I just remember being by the bris.
They said that to you?
Yes, it's okay. It's all right.
You can think it, I don't think someone should say that. Even if it's harmless.
We can, we're Israeli. And when you're Israeli, there's just another level of connection that you can allow yourself to have.
Maybe for Israelis.
I wouldn't say it to anyone, but I'm okay, you know. In any case, so I went to my son's bris. And almost embarrassed to walk in. Almost embarrassed to walk in. And I remember having a little bit of a meltdown. Can you just not talk because I have ADD? And if you talk, I forget, and then go home. Bye. So I was almost embarrassed to walk into the shul. Embarrassed because I was really, really, really overweight. And I really looked awful. And even worse by my second. And because every bris that I went to of my friends after, like by the bris, like 8 days after birth, I would walk in and they were like wearing their pregnancy clothing, and, like cute and skinny and perfect and like running around, and I was like stitched and on my tuchus and not being able to move anywhere and not able to walk, like changing my son's diaper like this, like not able to walk, like bad situation and very, very round and embarrassed. So what happens when you get mindful is that your life gets a lot less stressful. And even if your life stays exactly the same, or even, God forbid, gets harder, you are in your game. You're in your game. You're in your game. You stay centered. You stay in the driver's seat. You stay okay. You stay okay. And a lot of us, I feel, that get thrown off our game when things are like, when we get thrown a curveball, where we don't know how to deal, or this is so scary, or just the thought of that ever happening to my child, or just the thought of that ever happening to me, or whatever. It's like fear grips us. So again, these classes are first and foremost therapy for our bodies, therapy for our minds. Because we have to have kelim. How do you say kelim? Techniques, tools. We have to have tools to be able to get through this life. Because life doesn't come with a script. And I don't know what's going to happen in an hour from now, and I don't know what's going to happen in a day from now, and who knows. And we like to think that everything is going to be okay and everything is going to be good, and God willing, it will. But we have to be equipped, and we have to be there. Just like after the episode that happened in Tower 41, where one of the kids there drowned, and Baruch Hashem was saved. Everyone, in a matter of like a few seconds, people were like organizing CPR groups, and already like 3 or 4 groups went up, and people have done CPR by now. Like it's been like 2 weeks since it happened, about, right? And already like we've had groups of people, husbands and wives, taking the CPR just in case, because they need tools, they need techniques. Right, just in case, right? So in life, it's not just in case, because life does have its ups and downs, and when we're able to know, when we have the information in our minds, it's a different life, it's a different world, it's a different life. Who said it? I don't remember who said it, but one of these people that I listen to on YouTube. And he said, if we would spend the same amount of time looking at ourselves closely as we do looking at ourselves in the mirror, we would be like holy, holy people. We would be so perfected. We would be so wholesome. We would be so whole. We would be so awesome, right? But yeah, okay, so we're getting there. So thank you again for coming. Shkoyach to you for coming. This is you investing in yourself, in your future, and kol hakavod. So let's begin. Tonight's class, last time we were talking about loving ourselves. I'm not going to recap so much because we have it on video. I'm editing the video and I'll put it up on the website and I'll send you the links if you want to watch it. Tonight we're talking about loving others and how to be able to really love another person and what the advantage of loving other people is and how to love other people, right? One of my mentors is Brene Brown. She's excellent. She is unbelievable. She's a researcher. You should buy her books and watch her online. She's unbelievable. She talks about trust and vulnerability and how to be a person that is able to be vulnerable with other people and themselves. Okay, and not be ego-driven. Like, I'm fine, everything's fine, I'm okay, how are you, right? Like, be honest with where you are, right? And she talks a lot about that. And one of the things that she says is that she brings in from someone else that did research on relationships for 30 years, and he said, never trust a person that tells you that they love you when you know that they don't know how to love themselves. Right? A person that can't love themselves just is incapable of loving you or anyone else, right? Because that's how it is, right? Don't be skeptical of the naked man that offers you his shirt, right? Because if he doesn't have it, he can't give it. And that's something that's super, super crucial to understand, that if we don't have certain things, we can't give them. So first and foremost, I want to talk about this concept of connection with other people and connection with our spouses, our children, how to improve that. Because I think that right now we are in the time of correction, connection, and during these 3 weeks. The reason that we are in these 3 weeks, the reason that we can't listen to music, and that we fasted, and that we're going to fast again, and that we're going to sit on the floor, God forbid, let's hope Mashiach is here by Tisha B'Av. Amen. Amen. But the reason that we're in this situation over and over and over again is because we keep on, it's almost like, scar tissue. You keep on ripping the same area over and over again. It's bound to tear with just the tiniest bump, right? Because it's the same issue constantly of issues with other people. You can't have issues with other people if you don't have issues with yourself. Okay? If you don't have beef with other people if you don't have beef with yourself. Okay? So the thing here is like this. What's so amazing about connections with other people is finding yourself in it and always being and keeping it constantly, always number one in our minds, real. Being real. Like, it's very important to be politically correct. Right? Very important to be politically correct. And as long as God gives me a voice, I will speak this till I'm an old lady, God willing. Right? It's as long as we are politically correct and, oh my gosh, you look so good, and oh my gosh, let's go out, and oh my gosh, call me, and let's do lunch, and let's do whatever. And if we're not there in our hearts, then we can't be there in our lips. We can't be echad b'peh ve'echad b'liv. We can't be one person on the outside and another person on the inside. We can't be this person, because as long as we are split like that, and let's just call it hypocritical like that, right? As long as it's like that, we will never have authentic relationships with anyone. And we will never be fulfilled on a deep, intimate level with relationships with people. Right? It doesn't mean that we can't put ourselves out there, but if we don't feel it, we should work on feeling it first. Everything should come from here this way. It shouldn't be this way. Right? It shouldn't be the other way around. It should be, I'll say it first and then I'll drag my legs there and just like sit through it. Or do whatever. It should be, I should work on myself to want to connect with another person. Let's begin. Ready for me? This class is full of Zohar. Thank you.
I'm ready.
Coffee after this? This class is full of Zohar, full of Kabbalah. The reason that we teach a lot of Zohar these days is because Zohar is really like it's the heart and soul of Torah. Okay? What we've learned, I think, as children, as growing up, is more of like the outside stuff. Right? And when you learn the heart and soul of it, then you connect to it on a heart and soul level. So the idea is always to connect on a heart and soul level. Always, 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 always. To everything that we're doing in life. Right? Not to be robotic people, not to be robotic Jews. Right? If we're covering our hair, we know why we're covering our hair, and we love covering our hair, we connect to covering our hair, we connect to the whole concept. And if we're keeping Shabbos, we're connecting to the thing. And if we're not there yet, it's fine, because that's what I'm here, and that's what we're here, and that's what we're doing all of this. Right? To connect from internally to what we're doing. So he says like this. We're learning Zohar, and Zohar says like this. It says like this. Ready? לא מצא הקדוש ברוך הוא כלי מחזיק ברכה לישראל אלא השלום. Now I'm teaching you a concept now in Zohar that learn this concept, know this concept, understand this concept. Come inside. And you'll understand a lot of things in your avodas Hashem, in your mitzvah observance. Again, we're doing the mitzvahs. You know, I speak to crowds all over. I spoke in many universities and many college campuses, all over cure programs, and really hundreds and hundreds of places at this point of my life. And I've sat through, I'll tell you, give you an example. I was in NYU 2 years ago in the city.
My alma mater.
In Manhattan. And I'm sitting there and I'm giving these students that are just completely, you know nothing, they don't know anything, they just know that they're Jewish. I'm sitting there and giving them an entire explanation on Pesach, on Yetzias Mitzrayim, and what it means. And I am, by the end of this talk, I am dripping. You know when you feel it? Like that? Yeah, dripping down my back, like I just had an insane workout, okay? And they're all like sitting there like riveted, totally. And at the end of it, I was talking all about like coming out of your comfort zones, and that's the only way to be able to really move ahead in life and to grow and to evolve into your potential and to who you are, and talking all about Mitzrayim and Tsar and narrowness and coming out of your narrowness and coming out of the things that you're so used to and whatever. And at the end of it, this guy walks up to me, he has a guitar on his back, and he's like, so we're standing, right? Standing, and he's like, can I just tell you something? And I was like, sure. And he's like, you really moved me. And I was like, thank you. I'm so happy. And he's like, I just have to give you a hug. And he like squeezes me. And I'm standing there like, my rabbi's voice is going through my head, play dead, play dead. Like, don't have back, don't have back. So I'm just like limp, right? And he's, and then he like lets go. And he says to me, you know, you made me so clear right now. Is it better that I'm standing? Better? Worse? Good? Bad? A little better. A little better? Okay, so I'll stand a little bit and then I'll sit. So he's like, you know, you made me realize that all this time I was going to be in theater, and now I realize I just want to be an artist. No, I get him the sweat is like dripping. All I want for them to do is to just be like, you know what, maybe I'll go to Neve, or maybe I'll go to Israel, or maybe I'll go to Aish or something, you know. And he's like, I realize now, like, I'm going to be an artist. Thank you so much. You totally changed my life. And he like, wow. He was like, and I got hugged, and I was just like, what? How did this work? How did this happen, right? So by us, like when I speak to you know, women that are observant and that are building their homes according to Torah as much as they can, right? And that are trying to connect and that are coming out to classes, and when anyone's sick, they're all davening and already on the level of spirituality, right? So like by us, it's just a matter of like knowing, and then we fly. Because we're already in. And when I speak to like people that are Torah mitzvah observant, I feel like I'm speaking to like the cream of the crop of the Jewish people, because so many people know nothing. My own parents know nothing. So many people know nothing. Not just know, but feel nothing. And yeah, whatever, Israel, whatever. You know? It's not like by us, like Eretz Yisrael. You know, like like when I sing V'Yushalayim Yircha, I'm like all over the place. I'm just on the floor and I'm crying and I'm a mess, and like I just want Mashiach and I want B'nai Mikdash and I want Yerushalayim, because that's where I feel like my neshama is from, right? I feel like we're connected there. That's where it's at. So this concept that we're doing tonight is, I think, the foundation and the meat and potatoes of being a frum woman. Being spiritual, being connected, connecting to God. And he says like this, he says what I just said was, one second, sorry. You know when you overlearn? I've overlearned. Okay. The concept is like this, you have a vessel. This is Kabbalah teachers. We have vessels, we are vessels. That Hashem pours into our life bracha based on how complete our vessels are. Now when we're married, right, or when we're in relationships with people, we create a vessel between us and the other person, and it's one kli, it's one vessel, right? The idea is, in life, is to have your vessel be complete, be full, be a full vessel, not to have holes and breaks and cuts in this vessel, right? Because then whatever gets poured into this vessel just leaks out, right? And the idea is, he says like this, the Zohar brings down and he says that there is no more of a perfect vessel, okay? Spiritually, we're talking about a spiritual vessel. Me, I'm a vessel. When a kli machzik shalom, that when there's shalom, when there's peace. Meaning, when there's peace between people, right, there is tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of bracha. That's the equation. The equation is when there is pirud, when there is separation, when there is I don't like you, when there is machloket, when there is this whole like talking and whatever behind people's backs and all of that stuff, what happens to you, to your soul, to your vessel, is that it gets cracks and breaks. And what happens there is that you can pray from morning to night. I need this and this and this and this and this, and then it doesn't happen for us. And how many times have we davened for something for years? I know that I'm davening for one thing for about, I would say 27 years at this point, and it still hasn't come my way, right? Why? Because there's a tikkun, there's something that I have to fix in my vessel. Our souls are our vessels, and when we're connected to another person, like when we're married, then our marriage is our vessel. And when we're fighting, or when we're talking, or when we're putting down, or when we're not able to give in, or when we're whatever, all we're doing is breaking our vessel. It's like you're on a boat with your husband, okay, and your family, and you're digging a hole underneath your seat, and you're like, just mind your own business, this is my seat. And the idea is that if I dig a hole underneath my chair, I am drowning everyone and everything. There is the Torah is screaming and yelling and everything, and it's incredible because by Dor HaFlaga and Dor HaMabel, Dor HaFlaga, they were all united together to fight God. And all Hashem did was just disperse them. And Dor HaMabel, they were all fighting each other and they were erased. Hashem's like, it's okay, unite to fight me. It's okay. As long as you're united. The formula is unification. When I'm able to say, okay, fighting with this person right now, talking about this person right now, arguing with this person right now, not giving in to this person right now, all it's doing right now to us is putting a hole in our little boat here. Then it's not. I'm just gonna say okay, because what happens when there's peace between us? Kli machzik bracha. There's just going to be so much bracha, to the point where I don't even know where this bracha is coming from. That's what the Zohar says. I don't even know where this bracha is coming from. And we have a knee-jerk reaction, and the world is obsessed with revenge. The world tells us, like, someone gets you, get them back. Someone speaks about you, talk about them. Someone spreads rumors about you, and you're not going to demolish them? In Israel, there's a word, it's called freilich. Freilich. A friar. A friar is like someone that's just like a welcoming mat. You just step all over him, right? If you're not going to stand up for yourself and like be the man and get in someone's face, and you're not going to push on that bus, and you're not going to elbow people, it's freilich. You're just like a welcoming mat. That's the concept. What? A sucker. Yeah, right? And it's the furthest from the truth. That's why it says that this world is olam hafuchu. It's exactly what we see here. The 180 degrees is the truth, is emes of how to live life. Because if I want to be selfish, and I want to be smart, and I want to really be able to advance in my life, in my marriage, build this foundation solid from here on out. I want to be able to give my children a healthy, wholesome life. Then being adamant about this right now, or not giving in about that right now, or talking, or making a thing, or letting my ego guide me, all that does is creates machloket. And machloket is number one destruction. When I'm in machloket with anyone, I bring destruction, God forbid, into my life. 100%. That's why we're still in exile. We're still in exile because that's what we've done. When we lost the Beis HaMikdash. When Nebuchadnezzar came into Yerushalayim and he was going to destroy the Beis HaMikdash, they said to him from Shemaim, Bayit Saruf. They said, one second, I want to give you the right pasuk. It said, Bayit Saruf Sarafta. It's burnt already, the house that you're about to burn. It's burnt. It's done already. Because the Beis HaMikdash is just a manifestation of where we are in our hearts. When we were good with each other, and we were loyal, and the Jewish people were loyal and caring and connected and together, and like really together, and no one's whispering behind anyone's back, and no one's judging. Okay, so she doesn't do X, Y, Z, but she does ABC. So focus on the ABC. Okay, so she's not holding, or she doesn't look like on my level of mitzvah observance or of whatever, or she's like that. But that's I need to love her. We were told in the Torah we have to love every single Jew, not if he's like me or looks like me and acts like me. We are commanded to love all of them. The ones that look so different, the ones that are so far, the ones that are so weird, the ones that are so poor. The ones that are not, the ones that are tactless, the ones that are dirty, the ones that are whatever. We're commanded to love them. Why? Because what does love do? Love creates a vessel. Hashem says, Hashem is echad. Hashem is one. Hashem says, I can't dwell with you, and Hashem's dwelling with us is His bracha, His siyata d'shmaya, when we see things are happening and flourishing. What we see in the world today is a lot of destruction. What we see in the world today, and last time I said this, a month ago or 3 weeks ago, in 1 week we lost 5 kids to overdosing, right? 5 from kids and from communities to overdosing, and we're losing them as we speak. Like as we speak. I used to work in a home for girls that were off the derech, I told you in the beginning here, and like the amounts of destruction that I saw and dysfunction and sadness and depression and disharmony and just all the, I used to peel girls off the streets in Yerushalayim that like had to vomit all of them and just, I can't even describe like in what conditions I would find them. These are good girls, these are good people. But they were so judged and they were so put down and they were so pushed away because they weren't this. And what happens when that happens, when we're like that, and we're like, no, we're so open-minded. The idea is not to be open-minded. The idea is to love. The idea is not to be like all these like liberals like that are walking around like, Palestine is a religion of peace, which is what UNESCO just came out with. The religion of peace is Palestine because they want to so badly be like liberals and be so open-minded and show that they're so, that's just so off the deep end. The idea is to love. Not just my husband, because he's my husband, or my children because they came out of my body, but to find ways to love you, to find ways to love you, to see things inside of you, and to see things inside of you, even though I have so many walls with myself, and I have so many self-esteem issues, and I have so many barriers with myself, and everyone's so guarded these days. Right? So we can't be really, really connected. If you look at any person for a second, if you dwell in their eyes and just look into their eyes, you see a soul, you see a neshama, you see a good person. And everyone wants to be noticed, and everyone wants to be loved, and everyone wants to be accepted, everyone. And we were commanded to love, to just love. And Hashem says, love each other, leave me alone. Leave me alone, it's okay, you don't have to love me. Love each other. If we're able to love each other means not, I'm going to get into exactly what loving each other really means. Because it's the glue. It's almost like you have this masterpiece, this stunning vase, and it's gorgeous, and it's millions of dollars, and it's just stunning, and it's completely shattered. And the glue to put it together, that glue that you're going to just fix this whole thing with, that's love. And the second that this thing is back together, the second that Mashiach is here, that's the vessel. That's the kli machzik bracha. That's the vessel. When you have a 7-year-old girl drowning in New York, right? The reason that bad things happen, in the Jewish people, the reason that it happens is because there's so much separation and hatred and machlokes and lashon hara and destruction, and the Yetzer Hara is dancing. He loves it. And it's never going to be a perfect world. And the people that you expect perfection from, stop expecting. Just stop. Stop expecting perfection from your children, from your husband. Stop expecting perfection from your parents. Stop expecting perfection from the childhood that you never had. Stop. Because it's just, I have bad news to share with you. You're never going to get it. We're never going to get the like, I was wronged. This is not fair. Fix it. We're never going to get it. We have to put ourselves into the place of fixers. That's what we have to do. Once I'm able to be a fixer, once I'm able to stick this thing together with some glue, I'm able to bring more bracha into Klal Yisrael. I'm able to bring Mashiach. gorgeous girl. So I wanna just say something really really important. I want to talk about, it's called, let me just make sure, yeah. It's called braving. It's an acronym. Braving. Remember it, okay? B-R-A-V-I-N-G. What we're going to learn now, what we're going to learn right now is the B-R-A-V-I-N-G. 7 practices. 7 practices that if I'm able to do them with myself, I'm going to be able to do it with other people, and you will see. Put this, just sear this into your mind, sear it into your brains. Take these acronyms, take this acronym, take these letters, take what we're going to learn about them, sear it into your brain, live by them, and life will upgrade, life will change for everyone, for everyone. The idea really is, the bottom line idea is that we are living through history right now. We are, all the Gedolim saying, Rav Chaim Kanievsky just said it, Mashiach is bepetach. He says Mashiach is bepetach, Mashiach is at the doorway. Mashiach is going to come when there's unity, when there's connection, right? Hashem Echad, meaning when there's connection between us. Just to know and just to remember that all of the ego equals destruction. Whenever you feel yourself acting from a place of ego, know that you are being so tested right now. You have a choice right now to be a bigger person. You have a choice right now to be a bigger person. It says that in the Beis Hamikdash, there was no room, that everyone was standing like this, there was no room. But when they bowed down, they didn't bow down like we bow down, they bowed down, all the way on the floor. And when they bowed down, they had tons of room. Why? And Rav Scheinberger in Eretz Yisrael, who was a very big tzaddik, he says the reason that they were able to have so much room is because life expands and you get bracha when you're able to bow down, when you're able to be in a place of mevatel, to just give in. Just be the bigger person. Not needing to have the last word, not needing to always be right, not needing to always say, excuse me, I know what's right, but it's right. Hello, but you're wrong. 100,000,000% you are right. He is wrong. 100,000,000,000,000,000%, but you're not going anywhere with it. Because as long as you're ondim, you're standing on your own and you're standing on your thing and you're not going to be able to give in any way, shape, or form because you are right and you are right. I'm not saying that you're wrong and you're just saying that you're right. You're right and he's wrong, 100%. As long as you're standing on your thing and you're not able to move, there's no siyata d'shmaya and there's no bracha. There's no bracha. And when we're able to be in a place of bowing our heads, bowing our egos, not in a place of abuse, God forbid, right? And I always say this to all the women that I've ever taught. This doesn't apply to abusive relationships. Abusive relationships are abusive relationships, and they're in a different category. But normal relationships, if I'm able to be in a place of giving in to the thing, even though if I know I'm right, I'm making so much room for bracha in my life, so much room for blessing, so much room for siyata d'shmaya. And the Zohar says that there's a trick. You want to be matzliach in any business or any kind of thing that you're doing, you want to have real hatzlacha, the number one thing to do is make sure that the person that you're partners with, you have peace with, that you're peace with. You're not talking about them, you're not speaking behind their backs, there's no lashon hara, you're at peace. There's peace between the two of you. Even if it requires turning yourself into a pretzel.